Thank you for staying with us. As the business world continues to evolve, organizations are recognizing the importance of advancing inclusion and diversity in the workplace. Management development is playing a crucial role in driving this change. By providing leaders with the necessary training and tools, businesses can create a culture of inclusivity that promotes innovation, attracts top talent, and improves the bottom line. With the rapid developments in the ICT sector, manufacturing amongst others, they have become the engine of innovation, efficiency, and prolific job creation. With the Nigerian Management Institute, or Institute of Management rather, being one of the first management institutes in Nigeria, it is expected to regulate the management profession in Nigeria and ensure quality standards in organizations. But joining us in the studio is the incoming 25th President and Chairman of Council, Nigerian Institute of Management, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired. Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians. It's good to be in your world-class studios.
Thank you. It's good to have you. Now, talk to us about this role that you will be taking up, because your investiture is tomorrow. And of course, we know that you have plans for the Institute. So talk to us about how you got to this position and what your plans are for the Institute.
Thank you very much, Veronica. As you have rightly mentioned, I will be the 25th President of the Nigerian Institute of Management, which implies that there have been a whole series of leadership.
That's right.
Right from Chief Abebe to Dr. Molayole, and I can name them up to the last, my predecessor, Christy Ataku, Dr. Mrs. We've had a culture of understanding what succession means. That's and right. There's an interface between the council and what we call the body of past presidents, who are industry giants, quite especially. Well, we have people like Dr. Christopher Kolade, who is a guru in broadcasting and also an ambassador. We are getting to where I am. It's been a long, long journey because now I joined the council in 2013 as a rookie, and all through it's taken me about 12 years now. And in it, I have served in several council committees, and most notably became the chairman board of fellows, which is charged with responsibility of selecting members into the prestigious rank of fellow of the Institute. And from there, I contested the elections and became the national treasurer of the Institute, which the tour lasted for 2 years. And then I went in, became the deputy president, and now by 19th of December 2024, we had another council election, and I emerged as the 25th president of the Nigerian Institute of Management, chartered.
Interesting.
25 in 2025.
Wow,
so what are your plans for the Institute, quickly?
Well, the Institute itself has a long chain of tradition, and also it entrenches itself in continuity. Since I told you earlier that we have a very deep succession planning system. What I am looking at, beyond what is ongoing right now, is to bring the Institute more, give media visibility to the Institute, let Nigerians know more about what we are doing and how empowered we are to help particularly young persons, young graduates who are emerging from their youth service We have programs for them. We have empowerment programs that we are designing to help them to realize themselves and, of course, immerse themselves into the management practice. Now, also having done that, there are a whole gamut of things we want to do. By tomorrow, we'll be launching our membership app, which itself is a game changer. It's expected to catch all our lost members so that they can come on board. Once they get the app, they can come on board and they have their own dashboard where every details of what they need. Up there, we also have our past lectures, past events and upcoming events, and you can do your payment on that platform. And also, for me, we need to collaborate with government more. We've been having collaborations with governments, agencies, federal, state, but it's been far between. So what I plan to do is to go on a massive collaborative drive so that the art of management itself is empowered by Act 14 of 2003, which empowers us, to regulate the practice of management in Nigeria in all its ramifications.
Interesting. So, well, for me, starting off with you, I'm just because I'm looking at you, I'm wondering, because each time we talked, it has always been on security and so I'm wondering how someone like you, a retired military personnel, had risen to such high pedestal, and I'm wondering, how did you even get there to start with? Because, and how do you also plan to bring in your training, your discipline from the military background, and also ensure inclusivity, in your leadership?
Thank you very much for that beautiful question, Ibrahim. While I was in the military service, I was also undergoing self-development. So I went to read management thoroughly at the postgraduate and master's level, and I have also been engaged in understanding the art and science of management. And truly, the nexus between security and management is just a narrow line, because there's no profession in the world today that doesn't just name the profession, you can easily add management. Airspace management, security management, health management,
even media management.
Exactly. So in every profession, there is focus on how things will be managed, how improvements will come, how innovations will come, how collaborations can be made efficient and better. How do we support government? How do we support even the politicians? And how do we support Nigerians in general to develop cutting-edge skills that is required to transform Nigeria into a better and more efficient and effective country?
That's right.
So now the next question, talking about skills and all of it, are you satisfied with the level of how your members are committed to ensuring professionalism across the board, that they occupy the positions they occupy and where their services are needed, so to speak?
Thank you very much, Veronica. I'm very pleased to report that most of our active members are doing excellently well in their places of duty, because we have a very strict code of conduct for all our members, which we always recite at almost every opportunity to remind ourselves of our duty, to be efficient, to treat everyone at the workplace as equals, and also to avoid corruptive practices, and also to ensure that everybody is given an equal opportunity in the workplace environment. So this is one thing you can be sure of. Most places where you have management practitioners, professional managers, you are sure to have people who are committed who are also, we have continuing learning programs that bring to, we are on our platforms, and also periodically we have trainings that we give to people at all levels, from the graduate level up to the strategic level. And this will ensure that you have to participate, and because we have a point system where you gain points for attending, and then we have departments that monitor and evaluate standards even in the internal environment and also in the external environment. So it's quite a system that has entrenched itself since 1961. And of course, it's continuing. And we are hoping, moving forward, to, like I said, engage with Nigerians, industries, media. In fact, I'm more interested in the media, because without the media, almost everything comes to nothing. Because when nobody knows what you are doing.
So we're looking forward to better partnership with your leadership.
I assure you.
But then I'm still thinking in my head, as someone with military background, you personnel, military personnel, have some sort of values. Talk about fairness, integrity, discipline, and that. I'm wondering what your subordinates, people who will be working with you, what they'll be thinking in their mind, like, when they say, go this way, this is where you have to go. There is no going back. So are you going to be firm? While answering this question, could you also help us understand the qualities you're bringing to bear that you believe are essential for you and those that are aspiring in this position?
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. People always think that people who have been in the military are kind of robotic in nature. But really, we have undergone very, very deep series of training and retraining, and that has also, it results in management. At the end of the day, we have staff colleges.
Ability to manage people and resources.
We have go to staff colleges, we up to junior, senior, then the defense colleges, where we learn up to strategic level, contingency planning, national security issues, and of course, the civil-military relations is high on the agenda of the military today. So the qualities of integrity, fairness, all that also, transparency, they are all entrenched in the values that we also share at the Nigerian Institute of Management. So you see, moving forward, you have to, it's a balancing act. Sometimes, having done 30-something years in the military, and you're in a more civil environment, and you just have to be civil and ensure that...
you have to struggle to be civil? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you'll be civil. It's a requirement. I won't even have emerged at all if I have not been
they've not seen that trait in you.
Understanding the environment in which we operate in.
All right. Earlier on, you mentioned ensuring equality, and I'm wondering how you intend to bring the matter of diversity and inclusion into your leadership moving forward, because that's always been a major challenge. And also, especially also bringing on board students, ensure that we attract them, because one thing for them is if technology is not there, they don't seem to be attracted to this thing. So how are you looking at all of this?
On top of my vision is that of inclusion of students. As a matter of fact, we are already engaging with some student communities as we speak. University of Lagos, for example. We go in there and let them, we believe that the earlier we will catch them young, the better for them to be in the management environment where they understand the dynamics. And as they grow, they get entrenched in it, and then they are able to, wherever you place them, they'll be able to. In terms of tech, I just mentioned that we are just launching our app. And of course, we are trying to look for an ICT hub where our young managers, when we say young managers now, we're talking of graduate members from NYSC. We have programs in the NYSC. As a matter of fact, every batch we go into the camp to have a run to give them a fair understanding of management. Some of them sign on from there, and then there's a progression because they have to go into various chapters when they get in there. And talking about inclusion and diversity, we also have spread across the 6 geopolitical zones, even though we are not political, you understand? So we exist in every of the geopolitical zones of Nigeria. And of course, we also ensure, for instance, in the last election, I emerged as president. The deputy president is from the Northwest, from Kano, and then the national treasurer is from the Southeast, from Imo State. So
the nation is represented.
The nation is usually, as much as possible, without compromising, putting the square pegs in square holes, because it's a very important thing that you don't, out of sentiments that you want to create spread, then begin to bring in people who don't have the necessary qualifications to do it. And I will not allow that to happen. They would rather have a vacuum in that area until they search for the right person, headhunt the right people who will occupy that space. And that exists also in our staff structure. Our staff structure is also national in nature. We give everybody a chance to express themselves.
I love the aspect of the federal character because it shows how much you're trying to get everybody on board. But in talking about that, you are spread across the nation, and we know that the biggest service, the biggest workforce is the civil service. And we see how they underperform, how they've been accused of not doing things right in terms of bureaucracy, red tapeism, etc., and some corruption. But what practical framework are you introducing, beyond technology and all of the things that you mentioned? In specific terms, what are the framework that you're introducing to professionalize management practices within government agencies and improve service delivery or performance?
So our immediate plan is to go out there and interface with the offices of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who himself is a fellow of the Institute. There will be a lot of people high up in governance engaged with the office of the head of service, and then the legislature too, because we'll be looking at some amendments and act. It may interest you to know that the Senate President is a fellow of the Institute. We have people in top places. So first of all, we need to go and seek their support, and then lay down the next set of plans.
Are they part of the people you said earlier on that they are away from the NIM?
No, they
are not active members.
Those are very active members.
Right.
You will not believe it. They are very active members to the hour I'm speaking right now.
That's right.
Yeah, but because of their work pressure sometimes. But we have a way of interfacing with them. And like I said, we want to intensify that. We want to engage better, especially the public service, because most of the problems we have are born out of leadership deficits and not really about lack of material.
That's right.
And of course, ensuring that we have the right character and quality of human resources, and putting square pegs in right holes. When you put sentiments in appointing people to strategic offices, you shouldn't joke with it. You should ensure that the right people are, whether you like their faces or not, you give them the opportunity to deliver on the mandate. When we do this, we create that desired synergy that is needed to transform organizations and trust them into the next level. And when we string this together across the 36 states and the FCT, and we intend to also reach out to the presidency for to see how we can get policy changes that will compel people going to strategic offices in the country, whether political or government, to have some management say orientation and reorientation that we can now then monitor. And like we are regulators of management, we begin to think about providing for them seals that they will use. Without those seals, anybody who claims to be a manager will be discountenanced.
Interesting. Now that you have mentioned government, some would wonder if your institute is strategically positioned to be a major stakeholder or key player in the decisions of government and all of it, economically and whichever way we're looking at it, for them to be able to foster the needed change that you have just mentioned. That's on the one hand. And quickly, what are your views on the ongoing effort by the federal government to reform the economy, and how well do you think this has worked?
Well, what we need to do first is that of advocacy. We are taking advocacy. We are already doing that. But we want to take it to a new height, where we'll be able to talk to those who are the heads of organizations, ensure that they subscribe to the Management Institute, that by virtue of our act, we need to enforce and ensure that leaders of organizations are members of the Institute, and then from there we begin to create that pool of, or garden of experts that think about the future and progress of Nigeria.
That's right.
Without ethnic, religious, and all these issues that tend to draw us back. I mean, all those
sentiments.
Yes.
Yeah, ethnicity.
Yes, and of course, in terms of economic reforms, you will observe that in the last 20 months or thereabout, we have seen some improvements in our GDP. We have seen some improvements, even though painfully so, that some of the reforms appear to have impacted more on the common Nigerian. But I'm seeing the future that when all these efforts kick in and then they are harnessed, eventually the average Nigerian to low-income Nigerians will be better for it. And I want to use the GSM evolution in Nigeria as an example. When the GSM thing started, I bought an MTN, I bought a SIM for
36,000.
No, it was 50,000.
Oh, 50,000.
When that came up, and somewhere at 30, nobody could afford it just for a little
That's
SIM.
Right.
But today, SIMs are almost, in fact, they are free. Sometimes you pick them up.
They're
and
almost
then
free.
you go.
Almost free.
Yeah. So almost everybody can speak. So I believe that. Look at the fuel thing also. You can see refineries are coming on stream. By the time Kaduna will join Port Harcourt and Warri, you will see that the price of petroleum products will drop. It's already dropping to $8.90. And by the time all the private actors also kick in, we will rather be exporting petroleum products to earn the desired foreign exchange. So the one that is left is just meant for local consumption.
All right. Unfortunately, our time seems to be up as it is, but we can only wish you all the best in your new position or office as it is. Incoming President, Nigeria Institute of Management, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.